Jambo mambo familia Anbu, karibu, habari gani? Mimi ni Eli-Ben-Eli, and I'm coming to you live from Dallas, Texas. I hope all of you are having a nice day. It continues to be very cold here. We have had snow on the ground, all kinds of craziness. Let me tell you this. Here in Texas, we do not have a big cold season like in New York or back east. Back east, it starts getting cold around middle of September, and it just keeps getting colder and colder, and sometimes it stays cold until March. I remember one time when there was a snowstorm in early April. Winter can be very long back east. Here in the Southwest, in between, our really cold weather is in between the middle of January and about the middle of February. After that, it starts getting warm. If we have a good year, by the end of January, it might start getting a little warm. So our winters are not really very long or very bad, but it's weird because I haven't seen a winter where there's snow on the ground here in years. So this whole thing is kind of strange, but that's okay. God is helping me. I'm staying good and warm, so I'm not concerned. Anyway, I wanted to talk about Marwa and somebody stealing equipment from his place. Marwa says that he will not tolerate anybody stealing from him. That's okay. That's I respect that. And he went with a few of his friends to a household where he ended up discovering the jacket that he saw in his video, and he ended up discovering the items that were stolen. And they're supposed to have found a lot of other things that were stolen there. I kept looking at that whole thing where he was talking to the family, and either Marwa is a very brave man or a very foolish man. I counted like 4 machetes that were being held by young men and older boys that were surrounding him. And, one of the greatest illusions that you can have as a man is that you are some kind of invincible, tough guy. Marwa is a shrimp. Marwa is a small man, and he's frail. Okay, you can tell that he's not a very strong man. He's lucky they didn't beat him up and maybe cut him a few times and throw him out of there. But maybe that's not, maybe I'm completely misunderstanding the character of East Africans, but that man was, whether Marwa understands it or not, and he was running his mouth at the mother of the family and everything, whether Marwa understands it or not, he was in danger. He was in a lot of danger. And maybe because of the fact that he's the great Marwa, nobody would have heard him. But my attitude is don't ever make those assumptions. If presidents in the United States can get hurt, can get shot, can get killed, a YouTuber can experience the same kind of thing. There's, what's that saying? Fools go where angels fear to trod. There are places that if you know that you're walking into a den of thieves, that's exactly the last place you want to walk into. You wait until the police comes. But it's like there's a flip side to that also that people need to consider. Look at all of the people that Fellow the Boy helps. Fellow the Boy helps these women that are completely destitute and are left as widows by husbands. And I'll talk about that more in a minute. Let me just say 2 things really quick. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please like my video and consider subscribing to my channel. I'm not going to make this very long. But I noticed something. First of all of these women are portrayed as being widows. Where are the husbands? Are they all actually widows, or are they abandoned? Are they actually abandoned, or are there men in prison somewhere? I don't know. But you see these families where the kids are filthy. You know, the kids have infections in their scalp. They have fungal infections. It's heartbreaking. What in the world, what in the name of God is Marwa doing, posting videos of himself dancing like a prostitute, and him sprinkling large sums of money on her head? What is he doing what is he doing going around in a community that is obviously is divided? There are a lot of people that are fairly well off. There are a lot of people that are very poor. It's like you don't run into a group of lions waving meat and not expect to get chased and possibly bit by one of those lions. So it's kind of sad that people are rip Marwa off, but on the other hand, there's a cynical side of me that's saying something. How much of this whole thing is Marwa setting it up for the sake of getting views? Why would you flash money when you know that people in your community are poor? Why would you be boasting about being a rich man and everything, when in reality he's not? If Marwa was a rich man, he wouldn't have to beg so much for donations. So it's like, somebody asked me something on a video. They asked me, is there such a thing as a good criminal? And obviously there is no such thing as a good criminal. But on the other hand, if a criminal doesn't commit acts of violence, if a criminal doesn't steal, if he doesn't do a lot of that, if his crime is simply being whoever he is, there might be people that you can consider good criminals. Those of you who read the Bible should remember King David. There was a time when King David was hated by the king of Israel at the time, Saul. And he became the leader of a group of men who believed in him. Some people have called it a gang in a community called Ziklag. And there were about 400 men who followed him and who fought for him. Was David an evil man? No, he was not. Okay, my point is this. Be careful who you label as evil. Be careful who you label as a criminal. And most of all, if you're dealing with a community of people that are hungry, that are destitute, don't run around them waving money and showing off how much you have, because hungry people will do what they have to do to eat and to provide for their family. Is it right for them to steal? No, it isn't right. But on the other hand, don't entice them into a criminal lifestyle by boasting about your wealth, showing off your wealth, hiring them and underpaying, or hiring them and not paying them at all, enslaving them. I think Marwa has created a very dangerous situation for himself, and I think that he needs to be very careful. Anybody in this country, in this world, can get hurt, seriously hurt. And there were a lot of people standing around him with machetes. And those people did not look to me like if they were chopping weeds or cutting wood. They were standing there with machetes like they're protecting their home, they're protecting their family. Very, very bad situation. Anyway, Asante Asana for watching the video. But let me just say this. I saw a video of BT at his compound and everything, and there's a young man by the name of Alpha_E who I was very impressed by. He had all of this advice about how to build a house, but from what he was saying, I said to myself, you know what? All of these people are trying to live with beyond their means. Oh no, build big, big, big. Like Marwa says, build it big. build 2 stories and you know, my attitude is all of those children that are rushing to build big houses in Nyabohanse better pray to God that nothing happens to YouTube and that it doesn't go away, because it very well might. Asante Asana, if you have watched this long, and may you have a great week. And as to those who subscribe to me, you know, and the new subscribers, may you never lack. Please help me build my channel. Kwaheri.